Marcus, let's get you breaking inputs coming in at the moment. This is regarding the Pegasus Snooping row, a key observation by the top court. The Supreme Court has asked what is wrong in using spyware on security grounds. The safety of the country cannot be compromised. In fact, the top court has gone on to say, yes, using against whom is the question. Meanwhile, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has said terrorists cannot claim right to privacy. They do not have the right to privacy. We will examine. There is, of course, a need to strike a balance between state security and individual privacy rights. The next hearing in this case has now been fixed for the 30th of July. My colleague Harish has been tracking the developments in the Supreme Court. Let's quickly go across to him. Harish, what exactly did the top court of the country say? Some very important remarks coming out of the Supreme Court as far as privacy is concerned.
Yes, that's right. In fact, the last hearing in this case had happened way back in August 2022. Supreme Court had for the time being closed the hearing after noting that out of the 29 devices examined by a Supreme Court panel, malware was found on 5 phones out of 29 phones, but there was no conclusive evidence that it's Pegasus. But today, in fact, the Supreme Court, the Kapil Sibal and several 10 petitioners, including journalists and social activists, pointed to the recent U.S. court judgment which had indicted Israeli company NSO for targeting 1,400 WhatsApp users. 300 out of it were Indians. That was cited to the Supreme Court, but center once again saying that the government has established protocol as far as surveillance is concerned. No illegal snooping or unauthorized surveillance is done, but only in the national interest after taking requisite sanctions. After Solicitor Tushar Mehta said that yes, some particular malware can be used to fight terror on the ground of protecting sovereignty, security of the country. Supreme Court asked, yes, what is wrong in using certain spyware for counter-terrorism operations and also protecting the safety, security and sovereignty of the country? In the national interest, spyware can be used, but yes, we will examine the complaints of misuse against individuals. So while adjourning the matter to July 30th, the Supreme Court also allowed Kapil Sibal to place on record and also circulate the recent U.S. court judgment of last year December, wherein the U.S. court had indicted the Israeli company NSO for snooping on around 1,400 WhatsApp numbers, including out of it they claim 300 were Indian numbers. So this is the judgment which the petitioners who have been alleging snooping. Several politicians, journalists, social activists and politicians, they are alleging that their phones have been snooped upon. This U.S. court judgment is now being relied upon by the petitioners. The Supreme Court has allowed Kapil Sibal, who is leading the charge for the petitioners, to circulate and also place on record this particular judgment. So big observation coming in from Supreme Court asking why spyware cannot be used in securing the country's safety, sovereignty and integrity.
Right, Harish. Thanks very much for joining us at the moment, getting us what transpired in the Supreme Court of India as far as the Pegasus row is concerned. We're slipping into a short break, viewers. On the other side of the break, we talk about how a global toolkit against India is operating. On the broadcast, I'll be joined by Mr. Achal Malhotra, former diplomat, as well as General Rajan Kochar. Stay tuned to Times Now. We'll be right back.